You know, success affects everybody differently. For some people, it brings out your best qualities, and in other people, it brings out your worst qualities and shows who you really are. When we see people show who they really are, as the saying goes, you should believe them because they're showing you themselves. Some people will take success, money, fame, and they'll rise to meet their newfound station in life. They'll show themselves to be leaders, trusted pillars of the community, charitable, giving out money to those who are needy, establishing charitable funds, holding charitable events to help others, and doing multiple things to improve not just their own lives, but the lives of their community. That's not often seen in the black community, where people, when they attain high stations and high financial levels, seem to hoard the money for themselves, indulging in highly depreciable assets such as cars and more cars. Sure, some of those cars will appreciate because they're classics, but in the end, cars depreciate very quickly, and they really don't give back. If you have 100 cars and they're sitting in your garage, you may be able to rent them out or look at them and drive them occasionally, but they really don't do much to help your community or to further the future of people from your community. It's a selfish act and meant only for your own self-aggrandizement, and really shows the kind of person you are. I'm going to talk about two people that I feel are showing who they are in the face of great success. The first one is Rihanna. We know Rihanna for her beautiful voice, her catchy songs, and for years she has dominated the radio stations. They play her songs over and over again ad nauseum. You've got to learn the words sooner or later because you're going to hear her records frequently if you're in the car or listening to any radio station. Well, Rihanna was named most recently a billionaire. Yes, she reached billionaire status. A great thing. How many women, black women, reach billionaire status and have it acknowledged by the white media, especially during your lifetime? Well, Rihanna accomplished that. She has reached billionaire status and was lauded in the media for having done so. We would expect great things from a black female billionaire, and I don't know what Rihanna will do in the future, but she went out with her boyfriend, and the pictures in the Daily Mail showed that Rihanna considers herself just another street hoe, just another street person with no accomplishments. She's out in the street with a pink fuzzy hat, something it looks like she got in a secondhand store, with a top that doesn't fit. She has to pull it up. Certainly if you have $1 billion, you can find a shirt that fits you such that you don't have to walk down the street pulling the shirt up to keep it from falling down and showing your breasts. But there are pictures of Rihanna walking down the street trying to keep her top up. The pants are excessively ripped, even worse than you would find in some cheap secondhand store. Her buttocks is showing, and it certainly doesn't show Rihanna as a leader or as a person you can trust or as a person with good common sense, business sense. How she reached $1 billion, probably through a lot of supporters, financial people who surrounded her and got her to that status. It was shown in the old days when Rihanna was just singing that in her house, which was a luxury house, people were coming in her house and taking pictures of her naked or semi-naked as she laid on the couch and slept. She surrounded herself by people she couldn't trust, by people who had no respect for her. Similarly, Rihanna did the same thing on this outing when she was shopping with her boyfriend. You can see Rihanna, the newly named billionaire, walking with her boyfriend, and he places his hand over her butt. This is a sign of a lack of respect by him. And if he's saying to the world, she is just another street hoe. She is nothing special. He doesn't have to give her respect in public. He can grab her private parts anytime he wants, in any public place he wants, just to degrade her and to show in humiliation that she is nothing special. This man has access to Rihanna 24/7. He certainly has plenty of time to grab her buttocks and does not have to do it in front of cameras. But you can see he wants attention. He wants the camera on himself. He is jealous of Rihanna's fame and status, and he wants to grab attention through his shirt and also through his antics. I don't think this relationship is really a good relationship for Rihanna, and I don't know what relationship she wants or how this relationship is really going. I'm just giving my feelings that this man is out to bring her down with the goal to elevate himself. Is Rihanna just another street hoe? In this picture you can see Rihanna, and her face looks much older than her years. She looks like she could even be on drugs of some sort, maybe alcohol, but she certainly does not have the clear, fresh face that one would like to see from a newly named young black billionaire. Poor Rihanna, so rich and yet lacking so much, lacking the esteem to put herself above the antics of a street hoe and continuing to live the life of a street hoe while a billionaire. The next person I'm going to talk about is Wendy Osefo, a person who came on to the Real Housewives of the Potomac and proclaimed she had 4 degrees and she was a doctor of something or other, a PhD, not an MD. And she was demanding respect. She wanted people to call her doctor, which is very, very unusual for a person who is not a medical doctor. A doctor of philosophy degree does not earn you the right to be called doctor by everybody you meet, especially your friends. So Wendy Osefo was looking for respect. She was getting mocked on the television show, but that's very typical in black communities because blacks are often jealous of people who go on to earn high-level degrees, especially from prestigious universities. So the black females on the Real Housewives of the Potomac continually mocked Wendy Osefo's degrees, and I don't believe they ever really acknowledged that she had accomplished something very fantastic for a person from Nigeria. Let's face it, in Nigeria, education is hard to get. Most of the people, I think, still pay from their family's funds for education. And women are weeded out. Men are much more successfully taught to higher levels of education in Nigeria, and so you don't have as many women coming out as successful in certain fields of education. So it is an accomplishment, but I don't know Wendy's Nigerian background, and I don't know how hard her struggle was for an education. But even for an American, we don't see many black females with degrees such as she has earned. And she did earn some respect, but was never given it. Wendy had low self-esteem. She wanted to be like the other girls, and she saw that the other girls were light-skinned. She saw that the other girls were wearing wigs. She saw that she could accomplish some of these things through skin lightening, facial surgery, breast surgery, abdominoplasties, and buttocks surgery. She wanted in particular buttocks enlargement. So she went off to become, as the song goes, to become a build-a-bitch. Yes, she was a build-a-bitch, and she built herself up for sexuality. Most people want to get out of the sex business. It's very easy to get in the sex business when you don't have the mental capacity or the support, financial and familial, to be able to go to college and to get a degree. Wendy went in reverse. She wanted to become a street hoe. And so she went and did it. When she had her family make a cake to resemble breasts, and she made cupcakes to resemble breasts, and told her guests at dinner to eat her nipples from the cupcakes, I was totally grossed out. And I, if I had been a guest, would have immediately put the cupcake down and ended it right there. Wendy then went on to go to a pajama party and dress in Victoria's Secret type lingerie. Most of that stuff has gone out of fashion, except for people in the sex industry many, many years ago. But there was Wendy in her silk and lace pants and top with her robe fully open, trying to entice the girls. Wendy may also be trying to become a sex kitten for females. Maybe she's bisexual. Maybe she wants to pose in nude magazines. Maybe she would like to become a prostitute as a second career. But this is very common for women who get degrees who are seen as equals to men in their field. So they're treated like men. They're not treated as sex kittens, but who really want to be treated like a sex kitten and not as an equal. So Wendy went out to build herself into a street hoe. I feel sorry for Wendy because she has such low self-esteem. She has done a lot as far as applying herself to her educational field, and she has obtained some good jobs. But her mind is set on stereotypical images of black women, and she just wants to be a street hoe. I'm going to say one other thing about Wendy, because it was very insincere of her not to support Mia when Mia told of her clitoral plastic surgery. It's well known that in many African countries, including Nigeria, women are often subjected to clitoral mutilation. The men feel that women are less likely to abandon a marriage if they get no advantage of more enjoyable sex from a different partner. So girls are subjected early to clitoral mutilation. Other things that happen in countries like Nigeria, we see rape of young girls where the young girls are subjected to early pregnancy such that their bodies are not ready to carry a baby, and they suffer many lifelong health problems from being pregnant at such early ages. Some of these girls have rectal tears, which cause stool, poop, to come from the rectum into the vagina, and this cannot be easily fixed, and it ruins the girls for their whole life because they forever smell like poop. These are real problems in Nigeria and other African countries today. I think these subjects are very serious. I am very ashamed that Wendy is subjecting her children to this low self-esteem, and that she has encouraged her young boys to eat the cupcakes that look like her nipples and encourage them to eat her nipples while asking them, what does this look like? What does this look like? It was a sickening scene, and I think Bravo needs to stop subjecting black children to this abnormal sexual information and bring us much better programming.